I'm going to do a little bit of a rundown on how I did the radio install. I had a comment on it was the previous video, one of my previous videos, asking how the conversion was done without having to buy the full Cooper Center console, or the Cooper R Center console anyway. So I'll sort of show, I'm not going to be able to do like a full rundown because obviously it's all fitted now, I'm not taking it back out. But I can sort of explain everything that I've done, and you can take from that whatever you need to sort of figure it out yourself. But I'll try and be as informative as I can and explain everything the way I did it, type of thing. So basically, turn that down. So I got this Android stereo, this double DIN unit, and it does everything: Spotify, Bluetooth. It's got GPS. I didn't mean to do that. Google Chrome, you can connect it up to the internet on your phone. It's even got a little voltmeter at the top as well. So basically, what you've got to do, you've got to remove the single DIN radio which runs across round about here. For me, I had an aftermarket radio in, so it just pulled out, but the factory one may need some radio keys to take that out. Then you've got two, what the fuck, stay. Then you've got two Torx 20 screws. There's one here and one here, and that takes the original fascia off, so you just sort of pull that off, and then basically everything behind, you'll have like a sort of plastic shelf that holds the radio in, and then underneath that there's like another plastic shelf which the Clementronic sort of screws to. What you've got to do, as gash as it sounds, is just take a wood saw down either side and just cut everything out. This all needs tidying up because I was doing this pretty much while I was pissed at like 10 o'clock at night. But what I found is I bought a universal cage for the radio, because the radio didn't come with one with it being a universal radio. You screw the cage in either side, then slot the radio in. And also you've got to screw this, you've got to fix this to the fascia, and it's a right pain. I've just put some screws underneath straight into it. But I've also found that this is like a gap down the side, and that's because the original screw hole in this needs to be trimmed back so that sits flush, because that side sits like tight down there, so that needs sorting out. I have actually lost the cigarette lighter socket because it doesn't have one, but that's something I can retrofit. I mean, I had this fascia lying around for ages, so I just give it a quick like a paint. If you got like a factory one, which I think are only about 40 quid, I don't think they're particularly hard to do. It just doesn't, it's not a very nice fit, but it gives you the capability of having that radio in there, which is what was important for me, because with this you can run a OBD scanner, which means you can have gauges up, so you can have gauges, volt gauges, coolant temperature, oil temperature, all that sort of stuff, and obviously twin with the wheel and the boost gauge and everything, it looks pretty good. So